It's mailbag time here on Chicago Bears Now. I'm your host, Harrison Graham. If you don't get your question answered here, well, just tweet at me, at HGrahamNFL, and I will answer as many questions as I can over there as well. We start with some super chats, $5. Bears cheers to you. Do you think Fields will get reps with the first squad during the game? Hashtag Frosted Magic Spoon. Hey, love that flavor. Well, Dalton's going to play longer. So the question is, will some of the other starters stay in when Fields checks in? I think that's possible. Some of the starting offensive line, while some of it's still banged up, obviously. I'd like to see Fields get a series with Allen Robinson and Darnell Mooney at some point this preseason. I think that would be valuable. We'll just have to wait and see how long Mr. Dalton plays. Magnus Moeen, I think this is $5. Cheers from a Bears fan from Sweden. Appreciate that. $5. We'll cheers to you. Keith Riggle next up. Thoughts on Robert Quinn yet again being injured? Worst pace signing in my opinion. It's definitely up there up to this point. He had 2 sacks last year, and he's banged up again. He's dealt with a bit of a back issue. I think that's mostly figured out, and he's dealing with a little ankle issue. Matt Nagy doesn't seem too concerned, but they're being precautionary. They want him ready by week 1. We may not see Quinn the rest of the preseason. We'll just have to see. I don't think it's anything severe, but yeah, it's a little frustrating. Obviously, the signing has not looked like a good one up to this point. Noah, how many wins? Obviously, I assume for the regular season. I'm in the 8 to 9 range right now, but Fields is the ultimate wild card. If he's a beast, this team could win a lot more. I don't think there's any doubt. I think the defense and running game can keep this team in a lot of games, and then, they'll have a chance to win some at the end, and that'll come down to quarterback play. Some guy says, hashtag Bears, what do you think of Rodney Adams, and do you think he will make the final roster? I've been impressed. He had one drop on Saturday against the Dolphins, but he had that hell of a leaping catch on that jump ball from Justin Fields. He's impressed. I mean, he's firmly on the bubble. He was off my radar completely. I think he's right there in the mix. I'll ask you guys this, and you guys can answer in the comments. Rodney Adams or Javon Wims? Right now I'm taking Rodney Adams, if I'm being completely honest. So that if he's a leg up on Wims in the Bears coach's eyes, that's a good sign, and I think he probably is at this point. Skylar Hamilton, Fields versus Fromm will be more entertaining than Fields versus Mitch. That is another storyline that's being overlooked. Obviously, Fromm doesn't have a connection to the Bears, but the infamous story of Kirby Smart, the University of Georgia head coach, opting for Jake Fromm over Justin Fields when they were both on that Georgia roster that went to the national championship game. Fields, the year after the national championship game, Fields transfers to Ohio State. Fromm doesn't end up being that good. The rest is history. I think Ohio State won out on that deal. But yeah, that is another storyline. Hey, name your favorite Bears player. Maybe it's Justin Fields. Maybe it's someone else. We'll make this the pinned comment on today's video. So if you get hit with the YouTube ad break, scroll on down, answer this question. Name your favorite Bears player. Got another super chat. Cheers. Should Nagy start Justin Fields if he continues to do better than Andy Dalton? There's context in all this, right? How bad is Dalton? Is it close? Is Fields just wildly better? That's the question. How bad does Dalton perform? How good does Fields perform? I still maintain at this point it's going to take a lot for Nagy to not start Dalton in week 1 because he wants to do what's best for Fields, and if he doesn't think starting him right away is the best way, then he won't do it, even if he's performed better. Chris Techno, do you think Ogletree can beat out Danny Trevathan for the starting job? I've seen this out there. I think we're jumping the gun here. Trevathan, the second half of last year, still played really well. He started slow, and he was moving slow last year, first half of the season. But once he caught his wind, I thought he played a lot better. I would not expect that, at least at first. Trevathan's still a good player. I do think Ogletree makes this roster and is probably your third linebacker and should get some playing time. I do think that will happen. Another super chat. Oh, you too. How long can we keep Mac on the roster with upcoming contract needs like Roquan, A-Rob, etc.? Well, I'm not convinced A-Rob's here long term. I want him to be. Not convinced of it, though. The way the Bears have operated would suggest that that's very much in doubt. Roquan, obviously, I think he'll become a bigger priority than Robinson. See how Mac plays this year. If he's still dominant, that's a guy you want to keep around. If his level of play dips, okay, maybe you explore trading him. Obviously, that will be a question for the offseason, but I think he's going to have a really big year. Cap should go up. That will certainly help answer these questions. Jossip, #Bears. Are the Bears going to trade Foles? And if they do, who will be our third-string quarterback? They'll just carry two. Most teams carry two. They'll probably sign someone after final roster cuts to the practice squad because you'll need a practice squad quarterback probably. Yeah, I mean, they don't have a third quarterback right now. Maybe I don't know if Tyler Bray's on another roster. That would be logical to me. You know him very well. He's your practice squad guy. Boom, you're ready to go. Manny Ellis, do you think it is worth keeping Wims? Not really. How many chances should we give this guy? I mean, it's like he's had so many opportunities. He's talented. He knows how to get open, but he has inopportune drops, bad penalties, brutal false start last week on Justin Fields' first series. When you're trying to get your rookie quarterback comfortable, you just set him back 5 yards. Just not good. He just does too many fundamental things poorly, and you can't have that when you're on the roster bubble. So, no, I mean, the answer at this point is I'm just not that interested. He's really going to have to perform well these final 2 preseason games for me to change my mind. Predict it. Will Andy Dalton throw for a touchdown against the Bills this Saturday? Type Y for yes. Type N for no. Get your votes in down in the comments. Will Andy Dalton throw for a touchdown against the Bills? Hey, these are the type of prop bets you'll be able to bet on during the regular season. They don't do a lot of props. BetUS doesn't during the preseason, but during the season it really ramps up. What you can do is bet on point spreads and over-unders during the preseason. Chatsports.com/Bears. Use our promo code BEARDOWN. You can also bet on Week 1. The Week 1 point spread is out against the LA Rams. Bears 7-point underdogs. The total over-under between the two teams is 45. I like the over, and I actually kind of like the Bears to cover. Not necessarily win, but to cover. Chatsports.com/Bears. Use that promo code BEARDOWN, all one word, to get that 125% deposit bonus. Take advantage, make some money all football season long. Sangray Kim, another super chat here. Cheers. How about a complete rebuild now that we have a quarterback? Why would you want to rebuild if you feel like you can win with your quarterback? Here's the thing. If you have a quarterback on a rookie contract that you can win with, you want to try and win right then and there because he's cheap. He doesn't cost you that much money. Because let's say Fields is the real deal. 3-4 years from now, you're going to pay him $200 million. That's the reality of the situation. So you got to try and win now while he is cheap. Take advantage of this defense while a good chunk of the defense is starting to get older. I still think this is a win-now defense. Try to win. I mean, that you should always try to win, especially while you have good talent, which the Bears do have good talent. Pat Rick, when is Teven Jenkins and Dazz Newsome back? Well, depending on when you're watching this mailbag. Dazz has been practicing, so that's good. Teven Jenkins, I don't know. It's been kind of more of the same for 2 weeks now, so hopefully soon. I mean, they signed Jason Peters for a reason. I don't know if they feel great about Teven Jenkins being ready anytime soon. Alex Contreras, will David Montgomery start in the next game? Yeah, he was back at practice on Tuesday. He's fine. Precautionary to pull him out of that Dolphins game. I would expect he plays a quarter or so, 6-8 carries, something like that. Get more touches out of the way and then take him out. So, yeah, I think he will play. Khalil Smith, if Allen Robinson balls out, will Pace extend him? Well, you can't extend him now. That's the thing. He's on the franchise tag. So you have to wait until next offseason when he becomes a free agent to bring him back. Now, the Bears will have first rights to re-sign him and negotiate with him, but you can't extend him on his current one-year franchise tag, which is unfortunate. So hopefully he balls out, hopefully he gets paid, and hopefully the Bears are the team that pay him. TL, how many times will the Bears pick off Trubisky this week? Over or under 2 times? I mean, probably under, right? Trubisky's probably not going to play a ton. It'd be nice to pick him off, though. I think that'd be kind of fun. We'll see. I'll say under 2. Certainly things could get frisky and change, but I'll say 1 or 0 times. I'd be surprised if they picked him off twice. But hey, we'll be live for a Bears vs. Bills watch party, so if Trubisky throws a couple of picks, we'll be talking about it. YouTube.com/BearsNow. We cover the latest Bears news, rumors, weekly watch parties from here until the end of the season. Don't miss any of it because no one covers the Bears as hard as we do here on YouTube. Subscribe. Bear Forever 14, what's Larry Borum's status? As we're filming this on Tuesday, has not practiced since August 5th, I believe, 6th. Got that concussion. You know, I doubt he'll play in this second preseason game. Hopefully in the third one, though, because he needs to get some game reps. I don't think he'll start this year, but I think he's got a chance to be a starter in the future. So you need to get him some reps and some opportunities. Patrick Kotek, when, if at all, does Justin Fields start a regular season game? I bet week 4. I'd be shocked if we went this whole year and he didn't start a game. Like, that means Andy Dalton had the best year of his career. I mean, that's what we're talking about. Like, he had the best year of his career and the Bears won 10-plus games. That's really the only way that happens. Week 4 has been a popular guess. Bears play the Lions that week. Lions are a bad team with a bad defense, so that seems like a possible starting point. Let's say the Bears start 1-2 and the offense is struggling. Boom, put them in against the Lions. Eric Stark, if Robinson doesn't sign a deal, who do you like as a replacement? We did an Allen Robinson replacements video about 3 weeks ago. YouTube.com/BearsNow. Subscribe, go to the videos tab, and you can find that video. Some of the names I mentioned, I did 3 draft guys and 3 free agents. I did Chris Godwin and Devontae Adams were 2 of the free agents. Obviously, we'll see what happens with Adams after this year in Green Bay. A couple of the college guys. I know Traylon Burks out of Arkansas was one of the players I mentioned as well. So go check that out, Allen Robinson replacements. Tiger2308, how many tight ends will the Bears have on the 53-man, and who will be those tight ends? Right now, I'm leaning 3. They went 4 last year. I don't think you need 4. Jimmy Graham, obviously, unless they decide to make him a surprise cut, which they could, would save him $7 million, especially if Jesse James keeps balling, because I think he'll make the team. But then, obviously, Cole Kmet. So those are your 3 guys, Graham, Kmet, and Jesse James. If you carry 4, probably J.P. Holtz. He was your 4th last year. I would rather go 3 and go heavier somewhere else, but we'll see what the Bears value. Jessup gets the final word here unless we get a super chat. If Justin Fields has a good year, that will help extend A-Rob. I would think so. I mean, that's been my point all along. If you finally get your quarterback, don't you want to keep your number 1 receiver? Seems logical to me, but we'll see how the 2 guys play together, depending on how much they do play together. Obviously, Justin Fields probably won't be the week 1 starter, but this stuff all has to play out, guys. It'll be very, very interesting to see what happens. Who will play better against the Buffalo Bills? Type AD for Andy Dalton. Type JF for Justin Fields. Get your votes in. Who will play better against the Bills, AD or JF?